You know, the new Tomb Raider game. That's a reboot. It's Lara, you know, starting off again. But this is nothing to do with the original in the slightest. It's not just a retelling or restart. They took a different. It's like taking Warhammer. It's like taking this and calling it Warcraft. Oh, it's a reboot. No, it's not. It's nothing even tangentially similar. You know. But I remember seeing one guy. Oh, what was the other bit of stupidity that really irritated me? Well, I remember. I'm annoyed that I can't remember what really annoyed me. In all honesty, I probably should be happy. I remember one bit that irritated me. But oh yes, it was that Metal Gear Solid 2. I'm just getting as much salvage here as I can. Metal Gear Solid 2 is nothing but a well, they didn't say nothing but that they just ripped off Deus Ex, and certainly they do cover similar topics. But I would hesitate to call it a rip-off. Maybe that's just me. But I would hesitate to call it a rip-off. Certainly they both talk about, you know, sentient AI controlling the media, but they both go in their own direction with it. If you want to call that a rip-off, then all fantasy books are rip-offs. And to be honest, if you want to get ridiculous enough, you could well, if you want to go insane enough with that argument, then like, you know, the hero slaying a dragon, that's a rip-off, clear rip-off of insert book here. If you want to go insane enough, you could, you know, batshit enough with that point, which isn't really relevant to a proper discussion. I just find the idea of this funny. Arguing that, say if we found the like original fantasy book that all the others are ripping off, you could argue the second half of the book is ripping off the first, because there's a wizard in both. Rip off. Self-plagiarism is a thing, after all. I'm not kidding, that apparently is a thing. Okay, that's just condensed out of reality. Wow, that's interesting. I don't watch enough building demolitions to know if that's possible. Somehow I don't think things can condense out of reality, so I'm gonna go with no. That is the one issue with the demolitions stuff in this game. But keep in mind, it was originally made for the Xbox. If they made one for the PC, it could probably play with a bit more, you know? But yeah, it was a bit, people are being, I find quite a lot, when they don't like the series, being a bit fast and loose with what they consider plagiarism or whatnot. I've also seen people who are a bit fast, well, a bit, maybe too much so, hesitant to call something, well, rip-off or plagiarized if they do like it. We're all, you know, biased in some way, one way or another.
Don't blow yourself up.
I got some more. But, brilliant. So yeah, it's just a human bias thing. The other thing that annoyed me, I just want to bitch about this because it's so fucking stupid. And it just, as far as I can tell, the person was sincere. They were mocking, or I can't really remember the exact phrasing of it, and part of me wonders, am I missing context, or they're making a joke or something. But they seem to think that people don't get scarred by war because their father wasn't. He was fine, thus, you know, like, it's a common thing in story for a soldier to be grievously affected by war. They seem to think that idea was wrong. Maybe what they were trying to get at was maybe the over poeticness of the soldier expressing it, or maybe it was just the way they were expressing it rather than anything else. But due to what little context I had to go with, they were saying PTSD don't real. And I would have asked them, but it's just a case of how the hell do you approach this without, like, diplomatically? Because the best I've, you know, yeah, how do you approach this diplomatically without kind of you know, even trying to approach it diplomatically could make you could end up coming off to the person as if you think they're an idiot. Basically, so I was just like, you know, I'm not going to touch this, but basically going to subtweet them in a video. So yeah, it just came off as really weird. That's why if I'm going to post something, I'll probably post like 20 things to make sure everything's clear. And if I ever post something and it's not clear, feel free to ask me to clarify. I won't bite. I won't bite at all. Not into people. Trust me, I've had it before. It's, ugh. Just sticks in your teeth. It's disgusting. Remember people were asserting that the Witcher books ripped off or plagiarized? Keep in mind, these are only claims I've heard. I don't know whether they're true or not. The Eldred books, another fantasy series, because the main characters in both use the same nickname. They're both albino swordsmen with magic, just like politics, but use it, turn it to their favor. They have heavy similarities. And they both have 2 swords that are magic. Well, maybe the definition wasn't magic, but you know, there's certainly heavy similarities, and they both go, like I said, both go by the name White Wolf. So there were people claiming that the Witcher guy was a bit too inspired by the other series. I'm not sure any of these claims are true, and it certainly doesn't help that one of the proponents for this ends up acting a little unhinged when he talks about it. He was asserting that, you know, the Witcher games were plagiarized. Were the CD Projekt Red were plagiarists, because the source material for the game they're doing was, in his eyes, which basically means that because Miracle of Sound did 2 songs based off Witcher, the guy should be going after him as well, following his logic, as if Miracle of Sound is also a plagiarist for working with that material. Or say if Star Wars ripped off the Force from something else, then anyone who does a Star Wars novel or anything is a plagiarist. He was playing so fast and loose with it. He just seemed a little, you know, not so fan that's not a clear judge of anything. There's one thing about being a passionate fan, and another thing to be a obsessed fan to the point of, well, let's say, take for example the people making using Harry Potter to try and explain everything and anything political, even if it makes no sense. It would be one thing if the things were actually, you know, somewhat sensical, but they seem to just use Harry Potter for everything and anything. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they're using Harry Potter to explain syphilis at this stage. You know, unhinged fans, basically, is what I'm saying. Certainly, that's a genetic fallacy, but you can see my point. Since I'm only going off what he says, I have nothing else to base it off. And if he's, you know, acting like an unhinged fan, it's not really helping. So, yeah. Oh, what's his face? I'll say his name. That way you can go look up his videos and see his argument for yourself. I've only seen... there's another person on Tumblr I followed, they were talking about it, and they were actually in agreement with him on it. Razor Fist. Knew it was an extremity. But yeah, it was him. He was talking about it. And it was his Twitter stuff I saw, and what the other person was saying. The person on Tumblr who was in agreement with him. I've mentioned her a few times on my channel. And Spidey, this spectacular spider dash girl, and dash is in the symbol. She was much more level-headed about it. It was Razor Fist who wasn't. It's just the fast and loose accusations were the thing that was kind of making me like, a bit at what he was saying. That's all, basically. Before we take anything else down here, let's have a look around. Salvage is very important. You get upgrades with it, and one of the upgrades is you can find rare bombs in buildings. That's the upgrade. Doesn't give you the ability to find the rare bombs, but for every rare bomb you get, you get an extra one with an upgrade. And these bombs are rare, there's a limited supply in the game, so by being able to get 2 of them, it's very nice. You know, 2 of them for every one you get, it's really goddamn nice. So, let's pop a hole through here. No need to go the whole way around, just do this. I don't think there's anything really in here for me to even gather or anything. It's just more of a, let's just have a look inside and see kind of thing, you know? But, yeah, it was just how he's acting, since I'm just going off of what he's saying. If he starts acting a bit overboard, it ends up making me wonder, is he just exaggerating, you know? Because I've seen plenty of not-so people online, so my immediate gut reaction is suspicion, basically. Well, that is a Hanson we'll get to, we'll recognize, we'll get to know. It's the Marauder hand sign. He mentioned him earlier. Figure I may as well bring him up. Say whose hand sign it is. So yeah. But yeah, sorry for that little thing there, but it's just something I wanted to say basically. Boom, baby! Just a kind of point I wanted to make. Well, there's just conversations I wanted to say. Oh, damn. Did not mean that. Ah, well. Worked well enough, apparently. Even though he didn't actually fully collapse it, we did enough da- oh. Whoops. I died. I lived! The dipshit that lived. Oh, that's an interesting name. Oh, that could be a name of a book. Probably really want to write a book now with that as a title. The dipshit that lived. Thinking because of the Harry Potter thing. Actually, saying Harry Potter there just reminded me. I remember seeing gender-bent shipping, well, possibly shipping fanfic of Harry Potter. It was him and... Wait, I'm talking. It was him and Malfoy, for whatever reason, both as girls. I have no idea why. And they were moving stuff. I saw it over in Tumblr. Like, they were like moving into a place and moving boxes in manually. And I have no idea why. And also, side point, I'm not entirely sure were they girls. For all I know is they could have just been, you know, they could have been guys, just in a particular art style that makes, you know, drawn very feminine, basically. I know in, there's a thing, Yoi, some of the guys do end up looking like girls. Just due to how they look, how they're drawn. They're not evil, they're just drawn that way. While the other guys end up with freakishly large hands. So, I could probably milk a bit more salvage from this place, but I think the 69 I got, is enough. So, how are you doing?
We need to hide.
From what?
That building wasn't there, I took that out.
You are under arrest. Surrender or we will open fire.
Alec, run! Run!
I thought he died a fair distance away from the vehicle. A fair distance, you know, at least a leg away. Good on you, closing that mannequin's eyes. Bit early game, bit early.
The Earth's Defense Force changed the face of Mars. They terraformed so we could breathe the air. They built bases, checkpoints, watchtowers. The Liberators soon became an occupying force. And now they killed my brother.
Or not too early.
Dan said they'd take everything. For me, they already have.
Drop the weapon. Now!
You guys afraid of a hammer?
Drop it, smartass.
They should be.
Hey, what right have you got to trash
Your brother is Daniel Mason.
Yeah, he was. He's dead.
This trailer and its contents have been confiscated by the Earth Defense Force. We're placing you under arrest.
For what?
Don't play dumb with me, Miner. You're Red Faction.
Look, I just shipped here from...
I guess you work fast. We found these detonators among your possessions.
I'm a mining engineer. I have a permit for those.
It just got revoked. Shoot him.
Apparently the guy over there by the rocks never heard of cover. Like I said, they should fear the hammer.
They'll hunt you from here to the ice caps.
He said I was Red Faction.
Like it or not, Mason, you are now.
Kind of reminds me of a bit of Irish history. Yeah, just in that he was misidentified as Red Faction.
Mason, my name is Smanya.
I'll continue talking in a moment.
Lucky you.
I know this is a lot to take in, but you're going to have to trust us.
Why?
Because you don't really have any other option. The commander thought you should have this field manual. It'll help you survive out here.
The bit of Irish history was... I've said this in a few videos. 1916 Rising. It was misidentified as a Sinn Féin, or was it Fianna Fáil? It was either Sinn Féin or Fianna Fáil. I can't remember which group came first. Whichever did come first, it was misidentified as theirs. When in reality, it was a IRA. Let me start that again. 1916 Rising was an IRA thing, but the British government proclaimed it that it thought it was a Sinn Féin or Fianna Fáil, whatever group came first, one of their groups. One of their things. And so it became just associated with them. It thrust them into the national limelight. Well, not limelight, but it gained them a lot of support when people's opinion of the 1916 Rising improved. That initially, when the people being carted off, they weren't really happy with it. But when a guy got executed by firing squad sitting down, public opinion is soured incredibly. Also, this was made by the same people that did Saints Row. In fact, you'll find dog tags from various different people in this game. You can find a dog tag from Alias, from the second game, for example. You can also find one from Shondi here, as well. I think I actually found that in my when I was playing through the game on my Xbox, but I never actually realized who she was. And as on a side note, I remember listening to so much Tavern Cast while playing this game. Just sit, have podcast playing in the back, running around, hitting idiots with hammers. It was beautiful. I really want to do it now, but I'm recording. I can't. But I highly recommend
Welcome
it.
to the Red Faction. We'll start off with the basics. There are 6 populated sectors on Mars. Parker, Dust, Badlands, Oasis, the Free Fire Zone, and Eos. All of which are controlled by the Earth Defense Force. Our goal is to liberate all 6 sectors, driving the EDF off the planet. There's only one problem. The EDF is a professional military organization. They've got the money, the training, and the